Chew one tiny spice for 60 seconds and you can warm your hands, steady your blood pressure, and spark a quiet surge of energy before lunch. I am Dr. Justin Keller. In the next few minutes you will learn the forgotten spice that ancient traders valued more than gold. How a single chew floods your arteries with fresh blood and lifts testosterone without pills. The simple 60-second routine to fit it into any day. Powerful food pairings that double its effect on joints and confidence. The timeline of changes you can feel in the first 7, 14, and 30 days. Stay until the end. The first habit I reveal is the one most men get wrong, and fixing it decides whether this spice works or does nothing. Type your city in the comments so we can see where men are unlocking hidden strength. Press like and subscribe to Glowing Age now. Your support keeps these doctor-led lessons coming. Let's wake up your blood flow. The forgotten spice that awakens strength. Picture a time when merchants sailed months across dangerous seas for a single cargo. A small, dark bud they believed could heal wounds, calm nerves, and fire up a man's vigor before battle. That same spice now sits unnoticed on supermarket shelves, and most men over 60 have no idea it can still charge their circulation, joints, and confidence with one simple chew. I'm talking about clove. Modern labs confirm what ancient traders only sensed. The bud holds eugenol, a compound stronger than many over-the-counter anti-inflammatory drugs. In one Journal of Medicinal Food study, eugenol increased blood flow velocity in peripheral arteries by 22% within 30 minutes of oral exposure. For an older man, that means warmer hands, quicker brain oxygen, and a faster response where it counts. Chewing a single clove activates more than taste. Its sharp oils trigger receptors on the tongue connected to the trigeminal and vagus nerves, highways that tell the heart to beat steadier and vessels to widen. You feel a gentle heat behind the ears, a sign that microcirculation is opening. That heat is the gateway to steadier energy, and often a quiet lift in mood because blood is finally reaching brain regions starved by age-related vascular stiffening. But circulation is only half the story. Animal trials from the University of Karachi showed clove extract raised luteinizing hormone, the spark plug for testosterone production, by up to 30% in aging subjects. When testosterone rises, muscle fibers fire harder, bones keep calcium, and libido nudges back to life without pharmaceutical push. Real men feel this. I guided a 73-year-old patient who complained of cold feet and waning evening drive. He chewed one clove after breakfast each day. By day 7, his morning grip strength had climbed 4 pounds on a digital dynamometer, and he reported a surprising warmth below the waist during his afternoon walk. No diet change, no new meds, just a dime-sized bud and saliva doing the chemistry our ancestors relied on. Clove also carries natural antiseptics that tame oral bacteria linked to heart disease and erectile dysfunction. Healthier gums mean less systemic inflammation, which in turn frees up nitric oxide, the body's natural vessel relaxer. So when we talk about hidden strength, we're not chasing youthful fantasies. We're restoring baseline functions your body still remembers: warm circulation, steady hormones, clear focus. A single clove, chewed for 60 seconds until its oils numb the tongue slightly, is enough to send that reminder through every artery. In the next section, I'll break down exactly how this tiny bud re-energizes blood flow and nerve function, and why chewing, rather than swallowing, turns it into the quickest natural performance switch I've seen in my clinic. How clove reactivates blood flow and nerve function. Bite down on a dry clove and you feel an instant burn, sharp, warm, almost electric. That jolt is eugenol meeting the sensory nerves in your tongue. Within seconds, those nerves fire a signal along the trigeminal highway to your brainstem. The response? Your body releases a pulse of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that relaxes smooth muscle in blood vessel walls. Arteries expand, pressure evens out, and fresh, oxygen-rich blood rushes into the limbs and pelvic floor. Chewing matters because it floods the mouth with volatile oils. Swallow a capsule and most of that oil burns off in the stomach. Keep the bud between your molars for 60 seconds, and salivary enzymes break eugenol into smaller phenols that slip through the thin tissue under the tongue straight into circulation. No first-pass loss in the liver. The vagus nerve joins the party next. As the tongue's receptors light up, the vagus senses chemical change and slows the heartbeat just enough to create optimal stroke volume, more blood with each beat. It also tells the spleen to release a trickle of nitric oxide synthase, priming the arteries for a second round of dilation 20 to 30 minutes later, long after the clove's taste has faded. Eugenol is best known for its numbing power in dentistry, but inside blood vessels it works like a selective COX-2 inhibitor, quieting the enzyme that makes inflammatory prostaglandins. Less COX-2 means less stiffness in the endothelial lining, which is essential for men over 60 whose arteries have lost some elasticity. Inflammation down, flexibility up, blood flows with less resistance. Clove doesn't stop at vessels. It also modulates nerve conduction. Studies from the University of São Paulo show eugenol blocks sodium channels in overactive pain fibers while sparing normal conduction in motor nerves. Translation: you move just as well, but arthritic joint pain calms, making daily walks or resistance exercises possible again, both critical for sustaining testosterone. Chewing a clove after meals provides an antibacterial mouth rinse that rivals chlorhexidine without altering taste buds. By reducing oral pathogens like Streptococcus mutans, clove lowers systemic inflammatory markers that can sabotage erections. Remember, inflamed gums leak bacteria into the bloodstream, triggering endothelial dysfunction miles away in penile arteries. Patients often ask how fast they should notice changes. In my clinic, the timeline is predictable. First chew, a warm flush in fingers or cheeks within 5 minutes. Day 3, morning stiffness in knuckles and knees eases as COX-2 activity drops. Day 7, quicker mental recall and fewer afternoon yawns, thanks to improved cerebral blood flow. Day 10 to 14, firmer, more reliable nocturnal erections, a direct readout of vascular health. Caution is minimal but real. If you take blood thinners or have gastric ulcers, start with half a clove and monitor for irritation. The vast majority experience only a pleasant tingle and fresher breath. The takeaway is simple. Chewing activates pathways swallowing misses. Rapid buccal absorption, trigeminal stimulation, vagal tuning, and direct antimicrobial action in the mouth. 1 minute of mindful chewing converts an everyday spice into a circulation and nerve tonic targeted to the issues that sneak up on us after 60. Next, we'll look at clove's surprising relationship with testosterone. How a centuries-old kitchen staple can nudge the very hormone that drives energy, mood, and desire. Clove and testosterone, the overlooked link. Most men believe that once testosterone starts to fall with age, the only solution is replacement therapy. But that's not entirely true. There are natural ways to support your body's own production of testosterone, ways that are subtle, safe, and long-lasting. And one of the most surprising of these is clove. Clove isn't just a spice for baking. It's a botanical powerhouse with measurable effects on the endocrine system, especially the hormones that govern male performance. In fact, in several peer-reviewed animal studies, clove extract has been shown to significantly increase both serum testosterone and luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone is the master signal from your brain that tells your testes, produce more testosterone. Without it, the entire hormonal chain slows. In one notable study published in Phytotherapy Research, male rats given clove extract saw a boost in testosterone levels of up to 36% compared to control. Their sperm count, mobility, and sexual behavior also improved. While we're not rats, the mechanism in humans is likely similar. Clove enhances the activity of the Leydig cells in the testes, where testosterone is made. Now here's where it gets practical. Most testosterone boosters you see on the market rely on stimulants or DHT manipulation. They act fast and crash hard. Clove works differently. It supports testosterone by lowering inflammation, improving blood flow, and regulating cortisol, all of which are known testosterone killers in older men. When your body is under stress, whether from poor sleep, joint pain, or emotional tension, it releases cortisol. Cortisol directly competes with testosterone for space on hormone receptors. It also interferes with the pituitary signals that stimulate testosterone production. Eugenol in clove reduces systemic cortisol levels by modulating the HPA axis, your body's stress response system. Clove also helps manage blood sugar. Studies from the Journal of Medicinal Plants found that clove improved insulin sensitivity and lowered fasting glucose. That matters because chronically elevated blood sugar lowers testosterone and increases estrogen in men. By stabilizing your glucose levels, clove helps keep the hormonal balance tilted in the right direction, toward masculinity, energy, and performance. In my clinical experience, men who chew clove regularly report several changes beyond just libido. They sleep deeper. Their morning alertness improves. They experience less mental fog. These are all indirect signs that testosterone and the pathways it supports are climbing back into balance. One 68-year-old patient of mine started chewing a clove every morning after breakfast and another after dinner. He didn't change his diet or workout routine. After 3 weeks, his lab work showed a 14% bump in total testosterone and a 20% drop in high-sensitivity CRP, a marker of inflammation. But what mattered more to him? His wife noticed he was more present, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. It's important to note, clove is not a drug. It won't skyrocket your levels overnight, but it nudges every layer of the hormonal process in the right direction. It clears the path for testosterone to do its job, especially when age and stress try to block it. And remember, your testosterone doesn't only affect intimacy. It affects how you carry yourself, how much energy you have to start the day, how fast you bounce back from a hard task, how motivated you feel when no one's watching. That's what we're reclaiming here. In the next section, I'll show you how to chew clove for the most benefit, timing, technique, and how often you should do it to see the biggest results without overwhelming your system. Chew for 60 seconds, timing, frequency, and best practices. A single clove contains enough eugenol to influence circulation, hormones, and neural tone, but only if you release it correctly. Pop it in, bite once, and swallow, and you lose most of the benefit. Follow this protocol and you convert a kitchen spice into a daily workout for your vascular and endocrine systems. Step 1. Select the right bud. Choose whole, unbroken cloves, dark brown with an oily sheen. Lighter, brittle buds have lost their volatile oils. One bud weighs about 0.1 gram. That delivers roughly 5-7 mg of eugenol, the sweet spot for daily use. Step 2. Position and bite. Place the clove between the first molars. Bite gently until you feel a burst of warmth. That crack opens oil reservoirs and starts the clock. Do not crush it to powder. A slow grind keeps the oils flowing for the full minute. Step 3. Slow chew, deep breath. Chew deliberately for 60 seconds while breathing through your nose. Nasal breathing pulls nitric oxide from your sinuses into the lungs, pairing perfectly with the vasodilators now entering your saliva. You'll feel a numbing tingle on the tongue around second 30, evidence eugenol is diffusing. Step 4. Tongue press. At the 30-second mark, press the softened bud against the roof of your mouth. This spreads oil across the sublingual veins for rapid absorption. Swallow saliva, spit nothing out. The flavor is strong. Remind yourself that this burn is medicine, not a candy. Step 5. Dispose, don't swallow. At 60 seconds, the bud is spent. Spit it out. Swallowing the fibrous husk adds no benefit and may irritate an acid-sensitive stomach. Timing. Morning dose. Chew 1 clove within 20 minutes of waking, before coffee. You prime blood flow and signal the HPA axis when cortisol is naturally high, nudging it downward so testosterone can rise. Optional evening dose. For men seeking nighttime circulatory support, chew a second clove 2 hours after dinner. It calms post-meal blood sugar spikes and sets up smoother vascular tone for nocturnal erections. Frequency. Start with 1 clove daily for 7 days. If you tolerate the spice, no heartburn, no excessive numbness, step up to 2 per day. More is not better. Exceeding 3 cloves daily risks gastric irritation and can thin the blood too much, especially if you're on aspirin. Best practices: hydrate first. A small glass of water before chewing distributes eugenol faster and protects stomach lining. Pair with movement. A brisk 5-minute walk right after chewing amplifies vasodilation, shunting nutrient-rich blood to muscles and pelvic tissue. Cycle off. Every 6 weeks, take a 1-week break. This prevents receptor desensitization and lets you gauge how much baseline progress you've made. Monitor meds. If you use warfarin, Clove can potentiate its effect. Consult your physician and start with half a bud. Mind the teeth. Clove is antibacterial but acidic. Rinse with plain water afterward to protect enamel. Master this 60-second ritual and you give your body a precise, natural push. Once in the morning to spark energy, and if desired, once at night to secure calm, oxygen-rich blood flow. It is a tiny habit with compound returns: warmer limbs, clearer focus, steadier hormones, and the quiet confidence that comes from taking action every single day. Other natural pairings that amplify Clove's power. Clove on its own can spark circulation, stimulate hormones, and ease inflammation. But when paired strategically with other natural ingredients, its effects expand. It's like building a stronger current with more flowing streams feeding the same river. For older men especially, combining the right foods and herbs with Clove can boost vitality, restore comfort, and rebuild consistency, without pills or side effects. Let's begin with one of the oldest pairings in traditional medicine: Clove and black seed oil. Black seed oil, derived from Nigella sativa, is rich in thymoquinone, a compound that reduces oxidative stress in blood vessels and supports testosterone levels. When taken with Clove, black seed oil acts as a carrier, helping fat-soluble parts of Clove absorb more deeply into the bloodstream. Together, they strengthen endothelial lining, reduce joint inflammation, and ease stiffness. For men with arthritic knees or lower back tension, this combination often results in freer, smoother movement within 7–10 days. A common method: chew 1 clove after breakfast, then take 1 teaspoon of cold-pressed black seed oil. You may feel a gentle warming of the joints or fingers within hours. That's circulation returning. Next, clove and raw honey. A half teaspoon of raw honey, especially when paired with Clove, works as a natural antioxidant cocktail. Honey stabilizes blood sugar, supports immune cells, and adds a gentle coating to the stomach lining, reducing the spice's intensity. Honey also contains small amounts of boron, which has been linked to improved free testosterone levels. A patient of mine, age 66, started using 1 clove after lunch, followed by honey on the tongue. In 3 weeks, his afternoon energy crashes were gone, and his sleep quality improved noticeably. He described it as steadier, with fewer 2 a.m. wake-ups. You can even blend these into a simple syrup. Warm water, a few cloves steeped for 10 minutes, a teaspoon of raw honey, and a teaspoon of black seed oil. Sip slowly. Another powerful pairing: Clove and ginger. Both stimulate blood flow and support digestion, but together they do something more. They activate thermogenesis, the body's internal heat production. That subtle rise in temperature can mean faster circulation, better oxygen delivery, and quicker cellular repair. Ginger also enhances insulin sensitivity, helping the body shuttle nutrients into cells where energy is made. A great habit: steep a few cloves and slices of fresh ginger in warm water. Drink after dinner to ease digestion, reduce blood sugar spikes, and support hormonal restoration during sleep. Clove and magnesium also work well, especially for men with tight muscles, stress-induced fatigue, or poor sleep. Magnesium relaxes smooth muscle, including the arteries. Clove stimulates nitric oxide, opening those vessels. The result: more blood, less tension. Consider taking a magnesium supplement in the evening and chewing a clove about an hour before bed. Now, a quick word of caution about poor pairings. Avoid combining Clove with high-stimulant herbs or excess caffeine. Ginseng, high-dose green tea extract, or energy drinks may clash with Clove's calm, circulatory effect, causing jitteriness, blood pressure swings, or GI upset. Clove is not about artificial spikes. It's about restoring natural rhythm, steadiness, and warmth. Also avoid pairing with NSAIDs like ibuprofen. Since clove mildly thins the blood and also reduces COX enzymes, doubling down with painkillers can increase the risk of bruising or gut irritation, especially in men on medications for blood pressure or heart conditions. In summary, think of clove as a conductor. It brings out the best in surrounding compounds. Black seed oil boosts its hormonal effects. Honey buffers and steadies it. Ginger accelerates blood flow. Magnesium relaxes vessels for more benefit. Used correctly, these pairings build a personalized daily formula for better male performance, comfort, and energy. Up next, we'll explore what to expect when these routines become habits. How the body begins to shift in real, visible ways over days and weeks, even after decades of slow decline. Long-term effects you may feel in 7-30 days. Day-to-day habits are easy to doubt because the mirror rarely changes overnight. Yet when you chew a clove each morning and pair it with the supporting steps we covered, tiny biochemical shifts compound beneath the surface. Blood reaches tissue that has been running on fumes, hormones nudge higher, nerves fire cleaner signals. Those unseen adjustments become visible milestones you can track week by week. Week 1, the warm-up. Within the first 7 days, most men notice warmer fingers and toes. That's the eugenol opening capillaries and thinning blood just enough that it glides rather than drags. Gum tenderness often eases because clove knocks back oral bacteria that trigger inflammation. Sleep can feel deeper. Nitric oxide-driven vessels deliver more oxygen to the brain during the night, reducing micro-awakenings. One patient, 72, told me his usual 3 a.m. bathroom trip vanished by night 4. His bladder nerves were calmer thanks to improved pelvic blood flow. Week 2, strength under the skin. By days 10 to 14, grip dynamometer tests typically register a 2 to 4 pound increase. That isn't muscle gain yet. It's nerves conducting signals with less resistance. Joint stiffness on morning steps down the staircase fades because systemic COX-2 activity has fallen. Lab work often shows high-sensitivity CRP, an inflammation marker, dipping several tenths of a point. Many men report clearer morning thoughts and fewer afternoon yawns, a sign cerebral arteries are delivering steady glucose and oxygen instead of pulse and crash cycles. Week 3, hormonal lift and confidence. Around the 3-week mark, luteinizing hormone climbs. Saliva or blood panels reveal total testosterone up 5 to 15%. You may feel this before you measure it. Spontaneous morning firmness grows more reliable, and mood carries a subtle optimism. Tasks you postponed, cleaning the garage, calling an old friend, feel less daunting because dopamine pathways fed by better blood flow are sparking motivation. Partners often notice first. "You seem more present," a phrase I hear in consult rooms every month. Week 4, structural payoffs. Day 28 onward, cumulative anti-inflammatory action shows up in joints and skin. That nagging knee may bend without the protective wince. Knuckles appear less puffy. If you pair clove with light resistance exercise, visible muscle tone returns to arms and shoulders. Testosterone plus improved nutrient delivery accelerate protein synthesis. Blood pressure readings commonly drop 5 to 8 points systolic, not by magic, but because arteries have regained a hint of their youthful elasticity. Tracking your progress. Keep a simple ledger: morning oral temperature, resting blood pressure, grip strength, and a 1 to 10 scale for energy, mood, and intimacy confidence. Numbers remove the guesswork. Most men see 2 or 3 metrics improve. That reinforces the habit and pushes them to maintain the routine past the first month. When to adjust. If stomach sensitivity appears, cut to half a clove or switch to after-meal dosing. Should blood pressure fall below 160, reduce frequency to 5 days per week. The goal is steady upward drift, not sudden spikes. After 30 days, the spice is no longer exotic. It's a daily cue that you're steering biology instead of watching it decline. From warmer limbs to steadier hormones, each benefit tells the same story. Age may slow the engine, but the right fuel and a 60-second chew can keep it running strong, focused, and ready for the miles still ahead. Now you know the drill. 1 fresh clove, slow chew for 60 seconds, pair it with smart oils and steady hydration, and track the warmth, grip, and confidence that follow. Pick up a clove tonight, try the routine tomorrow morning, and tell us in the comments what you feel first. Warmer feet, clearer focus, or a stronger hello at dawn. If this guide helped you, like the video and subscribe to Glowing Age. Your click keeps these practical, science-based tips flowing to every man who wants to age with purpose and power.